Hello there. In this presentation I'm going to teach you how to get your book stocked in Waterstones. Now, over the last couple of years I've been approached by many people who keep saying to me, how do I get my book into high street stores such as Waterstones? And there is a process that you need to follow. I've done it myself. I've got my books into Waterstones. It can be quite a difficult process, but if you follow these steps, I make it relatively simple. If I could just ask if you subscribe to my channel on YouTube below this video. Once you do that, when I've finished the presentation, if you click the link below the video and go through to my web page, I will provide you with the entire step-by-step process, and there's also some links that you will need and different contact details in order to get your book stocked in Waterstones. So click the link below the video when I've finished and you will find all of those links and application forms on that page for you to be able to get your book stocked. So let's get straight into it. Make sure you've got a pen and some paper so that you can take notes. Now, the first step, what we need to do is to get your book registered with Nielsen Book Data. Now, basically, Nielsen Book Data are the UK's main source for book publishing information. It's also the place where you go in order to get ISBN numbers, and I'll talk about ISBN numbers in a second. But the first step is that you need to register your particular book with Nielsen Book Data, and I will do a slide on each of the different elements as we progress through the presentation, and I'll also give you the links where you can go to get your book registered. At the same time as registering with Nielsen Book Data, you also need to get an ISBN number and a barcode for your book. Now, you get the ISBN number from Nielsen Book Data. Now, there are many people out there who will sell you an ISBN, but the problem with that is if your ISBN is registered with somebody else, you won't be able to stock it in Waterstones because it has to be registered with you as the self-publisher. Now, the downside to this is that you will need to buy a minimum number of 10 ISBNs. So if you've only got one book, you'll still need to pay for 10 ISBNs because Nielsen Book Data don't sell any less than 10. So, you know, my first tip is not to go out there on the internet and to buy an ISBN number if you want to get your book stocked in Waterstones. It's okay if you just want to sell on Amazon, that's absolutely fine because you'll need an ISBN too to sell on Amazon. But if you want to get in Waterstones, you need your own ISBN. Now, ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number. It's a 13-digit number which is unique to your book. Now, basically, when you look at any book, on the rear cover, usually in the bottom right-hand corner of the rear cover of the book, you will notice a barcode, and above that barcode is the ISBN number. Now, I'll also explain where you can go once you've got the ISBN number to get the barcode. So again, if you click through to the link below the video, once I've finished, I'll tell you where you can download a barcode generator. Now, again, there are people on the internet who are charging loads of money for this, but there's a free piece of software which you can use, so it won't cost anything. Now, once you've got your ISBN number and your barcode and it's on the back of your book, you'll then need to open up a Gardners account. Now, Gardners are not the only supplier who distribute to Waterstones, but you will need somebody to sell the book to them, because what happens is Waterstones won't deal directly with publishers with regards to supplying the books. They just want to go to one place or a couple of places. So Waterstones will go to Gardners Books. Now, Gardners Books are based down in Eastbourne, and what Gardners do is you will stock your books with somebody like Gardners, who are a distributor, and then they will make the book available to Waterstones. And it just saves Waterstones not having to order from loads and thousands of self-publishers like you. They can just order from one place, and it makes it a lot easier. Now, you will have to contact Waterstones. You will have to apply to stock your book with them, but Waterstones will ask to get the books directly from Gardners Books or somebody like that. So I use Gardners. Gardners are brilliant. I've been using them for a few years now. They're fantastic, and I'll explain how you can go through and open an account with them. So once you've got your Gardners account, you then need to complete what is called a Waterstones trading application form. Okay, so you have to actually apply to get the Waterstones trading application form to get your book stocked in them. So once you've done that and Gardners accept your book, you'll then need to promote your books directly to Waterstones stores. Okay, so don't just assume that once your book is stocked with Gardners that Waterstones will want to sell it. You'll then have to promote your book directly to the stores. and I'll explain how to do that as I go through the presentation. Okay, so it is a relatively simple process, but it can be quite laborious, but you only need to do it once. Okay, so just do it once. I offer coaching and support, so I'll explain where you can get some of that at the end of this presentation. So if you need my help, I can help you. So step one, get yourself and your book registered as a publisher with Nielsen Book Data. Okay, so write this down. If you go to that website, www.isbn.nielsenbook.co.uk. Okay, there's also another page, Nielsen Book Data, which you can get to it from there. But that is basically the web address that you need. And when you go there, you will see that there's a page which talks about ISBN numbers. Now, you can register, okay, as a self-publisher and get your ISBNs at the same time, and that's the fastest way to do it. So you'll see on the page, if you go there, it'll take you directly to it, and therefore you can apply to become a self-publisher through Nielsen, so it makes you an official publisher, which is great, and then get your ISBNs as well. So step two is purchasing the ISBNs for your book. So we're going to do step one and step two in the same process. So again, go to that website. So once you've done that, you then need to purchase your international standard book number, and it's unique to your books and to you as a publisher. So you'll see there, I mentioned earlier on about the fact that you can't get any less than 10. So basically, you want 10 ISBNs, and I would suggest that you just get 10 to start off with. I mean, I order them in batches of 100 now because I'm publishing so many books. But you know, if you just start off with 10, and it will cost you gross price, including the VAT at 20%, of £132 for 10. So it only really works out around about, you know, sort of like £10 per international standard book book number. But basically, you will see there that with regards to the description, you register as a publisher with Nielsen. They allocate the ISBN prefix, plus they'll give you a list of 10 associated ISBNs. Now, the ISBN prefix is basically the number which is your sort of dedicated number as a publisher. So it usually starts off with 978 and then goes into the rest of the numbers, but it will be unique to you, and that number won't be available anywhere else. This list is issued by email or can be posted if required at no extra fee. To be honest, I don't see the point in getting them sent by post. Just get them sent through in an Excel spreadsheet. It's a lot quicker. You get your email. Make sure when you do allocate the ISBN, it just goes to one book. Don't allocate it to any other books, okay? If you want to order 100, you can do, but it's £318, and then 1,000 is 846. Now, you can get it done a lot quicker. It usually takes 10 days to get the ISBNs, which isn't too bad. If you want to fast track it, you can get it down to 3 working days, but that's an additional £72 on top of it. So that's where you need to go, isbn.nielsenbook.co.uk. Again, if you click the link, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the link below the video, take you to a page where you can just click those links and go through to them. So step 3, you now need to apply for an account with Gardner's Books, as I mentioned. Now, Gardner's Books are based in Eastbourne. They're basically a main distributor for Waterstones, okay? But the beauty of registering your book with Gardner's in Eastbourne is that they don't just stock books to Waterstones. They'll sell them to loads of other booksellers. There's thousands of booksellers in the UK. So your book will automatically become available to thousands of booksellers in the UK. Now, there is no guarantee that they will stock your book, okay? Now, that's the risk that you've got to take. You need to spend the money and get your account open with Nielsen Book Data, and then you need to buy your ISBN. So it's a risk of £132. Like I say, there's no guarantee that Gardner's will stock your books, but there are a number of things that you can do. Obviously, publishing really good books, providing any prior sales data is really helpful when you send the book to Gardner's for review. Because I remember when I sent my book off to Gardner's, I sent them in batches of 3 to start off with, but I had been selling my books on my website, so I had some sales data that I could say to them, look, you know, these books do sell, there's demand, I want to get them stopped reviewing into Waterstones. So, you know, they came back and they said, yeah, great, and I've built up a really good working relationship with them. I make thousands a month through Gardner's. They obviously take quite a large percentage of the recommended retail price, which I'll talk about in a second. Now, basically, Gardeners have a few criteria. The main criteria is that you obviously have to be registered with Nielsen. You have to have your ISBN number too. Okay, but it needs to be a UK source. Basically, for stock titles, the publisher, you must have a UK sales and marketing activity with stock available from a UK location. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're doing this from home. That is still a UK location. But what they won't accept is books which are sent to them from anywhere international or abroad. So you can have your own distributor, or you can do what I do, which is I distribute the books to gardeners myself on a consignment basis. Okay, so I'm based in the UK, so I'll meet that criteria. Don't just think as a publisher you have to have fancy flash offices. You don't. You can do it from your home. Stock your books at home in your cellar or in your bedroom and send them off to them as and when they need them. Pre-printed. Okay, now if your title or your titles do meet the criteria, which is ISBN number, Nielsen book data, it's a UK source, you then need to send a sample copy for review to gardeners. You then also need to give them a catalogue if you have multiple titles to that address. Okay, so write it down, but you need to label on the books, and I'll just get a white label and type on it samples. Send it to gardeners. Now gardeners cannot acknowledge, so don't chase them up. They don't give a receipt or anything, and they won't return them. So you need to send one copy off to them. So it's for attention of buyers, new publishers, buying office, Gardeners Books, 1 Whittle Drive, Eastbourne, East Sussex, BN23 6QH. And you can get the address from, click the link below the video and go through to my page and you'll have the address on there. Okay, so you send them off and send any detailed information along with it. Don't forget to send a catalogue, your recommended retail price, how much you want to sell the book for. My advice, and this is what I was like when I started off, was that I wanted to build a good relationship with gardeners and to get them on side. And like I said earlier, they're really, really good. But you have to think, you're going to have to do a little bit of legwork here. You're going to have to give quite a decent percentage to gardeners. So my percentage, when they came back and said, yes, we're interested, they then negotiated with me on how much I was prepared to give them. And I offered them 60% off, which basically left me with 40%. Now that is a lot, but you need to understand that that is probably what they're going to want from you, around about 50, 55 or 60%. For a new publisher, I would suggest you need to offer them 60% off, which leaves you with 40%. And then people would say to me, yeah, but that's madness, because if you're selling a book at £10, that doesn't really leave you much money after your printing costs. It depends how you look at it. My books generally sell for around about £13 or £15, and I always try to achieve a £5 return on each book that I sell. That's generally my aim, and that allows me to give gardeners quite a high percentage, because at the end of the day Amazon will take 60% off you, so why not offer it the same to them as well? And they will then negotiate with Waterstones on the price and the other booksellers, because they have to take a percentage. So we're all, there's you as the author and the self-publisher, there is then gardeners as your distributor, and then Waterstones. All three of us have to make some money. So it's basically understanding that business process, that if you go in and say, no, I'm only going to give you 20%, they're never going to stock them, because they have to make money, Waterstones have to make money, and you have to make money. Okay, and if you have an author, if you're a publisher and you have author, that's why the royalty rate is so low for most authors, at like 10% or something of net. So send them off and then wait to hear from them. So what happens next? You, the publisher, will be contacted if gardeners decide to stock the books. Like I say, any sort of additional sales data that you can give them about the books, or demand that you have from them, will encourage them to stock them. If you've got anything with regards to details of whether it's a niche area, or people following you on Facebook or your Twitter, send it to them. Send them pictures of your account and say, look, there is demand for this. Put some supporting information in the pack when you send the books off. When it's agreed to stock, okay, when gardeners say yes, we will stock the books, they will then discuss commercial terms with you as the publisher. Like I say, my advice is to offer 60%. I set up my gardeners account in 2010 and I offered them 60%, and I've never negotiated down anymore, because I just don't see the point. I want to build a good relationship with them, and they stock all of my books now, all of them. So I've got in excess of 150 titles stocked with gardeners. They're all available to Waterstones, and also the other thousands of UK booksellers out there. Every month I get paid thousands of pounds, straight into my bank account, and it's great. Now, almost without exception, books from new publishers, that's you, from new publisher relationships, will be taken into stock on a consignment basis. Now, consignment means that they hold the stock and they pay monthly on sales achieved. It's basically sale or return. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll send you, usually when you tell them that you've got a new book available, they will usually order 50 books from you, and you send them off to Gardners to the address with the purchase order inside the boxes. You send off your books, and then when they need more stock, they'll order it from you. Okay, now the payment terms are 60 days end of month. Okay, so for those people who don't know what that means, it's at the end of the month, you then have to wait 60 days before you get paid for the sales within that particular month. Okay, so you have to wait quite a while for the money, but once it starts coming in, it's great, because then you'll get paid every month. So it's on consignment basis. You're offering to them, and then if they don't sell, they would probably return them to you after a number of months if they don't sell. Now, other commercial terms such as discount levels will also be agreed, and that's when I say to you, I would be thinking about offering them 60%. Okay, so you need to do your sums. You need to sit down and work out your sums with regards to your book. But for me, it works extremely well. Like I say, focus on building a relationship with Gardners Books. Now, once you've done that, the book's available in Gardners. You then have to complete what is called a Waterstones trading application form. So you then have to say to Waterstones, you've got your book in Gardners, can I now stock my book? And this is quite a quick process, so don't worry. Now, to do this, you need to contact the Independent Publisher Coordinator by email, which is ipc@waterstones.com, and ask for a Waterstones trading application form. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can get the form yourself. Just simply subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the link below the video to download the form from my website. Okay, so I'll give you the link direct to the form on my website. So that's the step 4. So you send it off and you say, look, my book's available in Gardners. I would like you to please to sell it. And then you'll basically build up your relationship with Waterstones and Gardners, and your books are available to them. Now, the myth, if you like, is that people think that once the book is available in Waterstones, that's it, they don't have to do anything else. That is not true. You then need to promote your book directly to Waterstones stores. Okay, so you need to do some work with regards to that. And one of the ways to do it is to create advanced trade information sheets, ATI, for your book. It's quite an easy thing to do, but I can show you how to do that and give you a template for your books. And you then contact the Waterstones stores. Some of the bigger publishers like me will send Waterstones a copy, an inspection copy, and ask them to stock them. But obviously that's quite a lot. If there's like hundreds of stores, it can cost you a few £100 just to promote a book. But you're basically building up a relationship with Waterstones. And once you've done that, you'll have direct contact with the buyers. You can tell them about any books that are coming out. But you need to promote it. My advice to self-publishers and people just starting out is to pick a number of stores in your local area, because you don't want to be travelling up and down the country, visiting all of the Waterstone stores. But my closest branch near to my office was in Maidstone, and when I first got my books, I arranged to meet the buyer for my particular niche at Waterstones in Maidstone, and they agreed to stock the books, which was great, and they still sell them in there. But you need to put the book under their noses. Okay, so you need to do a little bit of legwork, so don't just assume that once they've got your book they will stock it. Now, at my Book Publishing Academy, which is bookpublishingacademy.co.uk, you can join the academy and you can get access to 32 hours worth of training videos like this, and also me teaching to you on a one-to-one basis about the entire book writing and publishing process, how to format for Kindle, how to get your books printed, again, how to get into Waterstones, how to promote your books on YouTube, and also how to sell on Amazon. And it's really cheap to join, and when you join you'll get 30 days free support by me, so you can contact me and ask me any questions. If you've got any questions about getting your books stocked in Waterstones, great, I can help you. So go there, bookpublishingacademy.co.uk, or click the link below the video to go through to my page, and then you can join from there. But I hope you've enjoyed that. I've got loads of different videos that I can share with you about the book writing and publishing process. Hope you've enjoyed it. My name's been Richard McMahon, and thank you very much for watching.